So hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is a Gryffindor cauldron from my youngest daughter for Christmas. As you recall, I have another Harry Potter coffee mug that is also in a similar cauldron shape. The other one is like a thinner and taller, and honestly the material is not as good as the material this one is made of. It's already got a chip in it, so I can't even use it anymore. Hopefully this one will survive a little better than that one has. I only used it once and it's already got a chip. But anyway, today's tea is from last month's Sip By, December Sip By, the Paromi Full Leaf Tea, Sleep With Me, with chamomile, lemon balm, honeybush, apple, cinnamon, linden leaves, and apricot and quince. And as I recall, I really like this tea, so let's give this a taste and then we can go ahead and get started. Yes, I like this tea. I like this tea. The coffee mug is a little bit awkward to drink from. This wide lip makes it very difficult to drink the hotter tea. I think if it was cold drink, it'd be easier, but at this point, it's like a really wide lip. But other than that, it's a really cute little mug, and I love it. Anyway, my kids really spoiled me with coffee mugs. So, as you can tell from the crown, today is a sample queen video. Some of what we have is samples and some is not. So, but it is a sample queen video. It is stuff that I got to sample either for cheap or for low, and or for nothing. Some of it's for nothing. So we're going to be talking about basically some Elemis and some Derma E today. The Derma E I won in a contest. Was really surprised. And the Elemis, I believe, is from a kit that I was able to get for free or shipping. I can't remember. Was not that expensive. Let's start with the Elemis. We'll start with the Elemis Superfood Facial Wash. I actually really enjoy this. I enjoy the scent of it. It's a clear green gel, and it smells really nice and fresh. It's it's transparent. But it's got a kind of a green to it. You don't need a lot. In fact, this should, if I were using my little scrub, that little amount would wash my face. You don't need a lot. It does leave my skin feeling soft and smooth. My cheeks do feel a touch dry. However, as we all know, that's pretty much what I expect with most anything nowadays. For whatever works on my T-zone will make my cheeks dry. That's what it comes down to. I did seem to start having more issues through the day, but at that point I was using all of the Elemis things in one day. So I was using the marine eye cream I'm about to show you, and also the day food. Is that what it's called? The Superfood Day Cream. I was using that. And my skin got tackier for some reason through the day. So for a brand as a whole, I don't think that's a very good thing. If your skin goes from feeling okay to feeling really tacky later in the day. As for the cleanser, as much as I like it and I'm going to finish using it up, I don't think that Pretty Scent is worth the extra price per ounce. I can't remember what the price per ounce was. I know that these travel sizes are pretty affordable in themselves. Like this, I think this might be $10 to $20 or something like that. But when you count that against other things that you can get in larger sizes for just a little bit more, and this is 1 ounce. This is 30 mil. My Derma E that I'm going to be showing you is 6 ounces and is about, I think it's about 15. So yeah, that's a big difference in terms of price. And as much as I love the smell, as much as I think it's a really nice cleanser, it's not anything that I would purchase just based on the price. Elemis has that reputation, though. I think it's kind of on the pricey side for skincare. Something to be aware of. I'm going to apologize if you hear any other noises in the background. Our neighbors are upstairs and they've been talking kind of noisy since they got in. Moving on, the next is the Elemis Peptide 4000 Flower Mask. This is thick and black and spreads very thinly over the skin. I believe this is the one that says to use a, is this the one? Yes, this says to use a dark cloth, and I discovered why, because I used a red cloth, and it actually stained the cloth. But as you can see, it is kind of a black thing, and it does spread out thin over the face as well as it did over the hand. There's maybe, I think I've used this twice, maybe 3 times. I have maybe 1 use left. It stings a bit, especially in the areas where I have my usual issues, which would be around my eyes and around my nose a bit. The stinging does fade, but it never dies down completely until you remove it. It remains slightly tacky, and so this never dries down completely, but washes off easily, but did stain my rag like I noted. My skin was soft and smooth. There was no dryness. And it looked very cleaned out, which was something that was really nice. My radiance pad came up very slightly discolored, but I think more so where I hadn't managed to remove, more so where I hadn't used the mask. So when I use my radiance pad, I don't just do my face. I also get my neck and, along the sides here. And where I didn't get the mask placed, I noticed that my pad actually came up a little bit dirtier. Also, if it cleaned out the pores, since it cleaned things out, I have noticed that those that do actually clean things out also will leave my radiance pads looking a little dirtier. Not by much. It's, it's like a slight, very slight staining. It's nothing major. All that said, I like this and I would consider rebuying it. I do believe this one is 0.45 ounces. I wouldn't use it as much as they advise, because I think they advise you to use it once a week or once or twice a week. And considering the cost of Elemis, I wouldn't do that. But I would consider repurchasing it. I did like it. Not going to do so anytime soon because of the whole financial thing that we're doing right now. But it is definitely something that I would recommend if you're interested and you like Elemis and you're not too concerned about the price. It did work. It left my skin soft. I did enjoy it. So yeah, it's a good product. Most of the Elemis stuff is good products. It's just for most of them, the price is a little daunting for me. A little less so on the mask, if only because masks tend to be on the pricier side anyway. And I find that, it honestly doesn't seem to be much different for high to low end. There's a few low end you can get, but they're all going to be kind of on the pricier side regardless. And this one I think was actually worth it. So next we have the Superfood Day Cream. This is a thick cream. It also has a very similar scent to the wash. It's in the same kind of thing. Let's see, this is how thick it is. I'm pressing fairly hard. So you can see it's a very thick cream. It has a very slightly green cast to it. You do not need a lot of it. It spreads out very thinly. That little itty bitty bit just covered the entire back of my hand, pretty much. It's nice and light on the skin, though it does take a little bit to absorb. It provides the right moisture for most of my skin, though it leaves my cheeks just a touch dry. I suspect it wouldn't do that in the summer when my skin is on the oiler end of things anyway. It doesn't really seem to do more other than moisturize, but I like it because of how light it is. However, it did start to feel, my skin did start to feel a little tackier towards the middle of the day. And I was developing some small breakouts for a while. I continued to use this, so whatever was causing me to break out was something else. I believe it was an oil, to be honest with you. I did have one day where I did use it for about a day and a half and my skin didn't go tacky or anything. So it might depend on how much of this you put on your skin. If you go pretty light, it should be okay. I actually considered looking at it and possibly buying it. However, I wouldn't purchase it now because $45 is a lot for moisturizer. I don't remember how big the size is. But even my First Aid Beauty is $30. So $45, like I said, Elemis is one of those really pricey brands. And I haven't found much of a difference between the way it works and the way my First Aid Beauty works or any of those. So I'm not sure that price is really worth it. And even if it was, at this point in time, it's not something I can afford. Again, it's not worth buying for a pretty scent. So I'm hopefully, like I said, I really did like how light it was on the skin. And that's been one of my biggest problems of trying to find something that's really light and yet moisturizing. I am going to try, have been trying a sample of the new First Aid Beauty Barrier Cream. I think that actually will work for me, and I'm looking into possibly getting a bit larger size for that. If you don't like First Aid Beauty, or First Aid Beauty is something that causes allergies, or and you are also looking for something that's lighter on the skin rather than some of the heavier creams that we see, Elemis will be good if you figure you can afford that price, because for me, $45 is just too much. So honestly, it's good if we go on how it works as a moisturizer. I'd say it's worth recommending. But if you go on the price, don't get it unless you really think you can afford it, unless you think you can't find something else that'll work for you. Honestly, that's just too much. It's my biggest complaint about most of the Elemis stuff. All right, so next, I'm going to take this little clip off. I use these little clips to help sploosh it down. You can get these on Amazon. I'd have to look up what they are, though. But they help make it so that when you reach a certain point, you can press them down, and they'll take everything from the top, and they'll put all of that cream down in the bottom. Anyway, this is the Elemis Pro-Collagen Marine Cream. It's a slightly loose cream. It has a very light scent to it. This is another one of those. This is closer to the consistency of, say, an eye cream. The light scent, it's not as nice as the other. This actually smells more like a cream to me. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Some creams have just a cream smell. That's all I can say. It did take a bit more than I expected for me to put around my eyes and whatever. But it's still not a lot. Smooths over skin, easily absorbs very quickly, and leaves the skin really soft. I haven't seen any result in terms of the under eyes for, I believe this is to help with wrinkles and stuff. Yeah, anti-wrinkle day cream. I don't have a lot of wrinkles. I have texture. I don't have a lot of wrinkles, but I didn't notice any filling out or reducing of any kind of texture or wrinkles with it. I was thinking so that it might have needed more time, but over a week later, I still haven't seen anything. I've been using it for over a month. So I'm not seeing any difference, but like I said, I don't have a lot of lines to begin with. But it doesn't seem like it should take as long as I've been using it for actually to do something or to make a difference, or to, just basically to make a difference around my eyes. Particularly that's where I've had any texture and any kind of problems. And like I said, I just haven't seen it, so it's not something I would purchase. I will probably finish using this, but again, it's just, this I actually didn't see any results in. The only thing I can say about this is that it is very similar to, say, a light face cream or a standard eye cream. And I will use it up for that reason. There we go. I will use it up for that reason. But I wouldn't repurchase it because, you know, there are cheaper things on the market that you can get that will do the kinds of things that this has actually done for me, since it didn't actually do anything with the wrinkles. I still need to get my Cetaphil stuff. That's what I really want for my eye cream. Really. Even above the First Aid Beauty. I like the First Aid Beauty. It's supposed to do, you know, brighten and all this other stuff, and that's really nice. But the Cetaphil really was good. Anyway, so the next 3 items were from Derma E. I actually won these in a contest. They are full sizes. Like I said, I think in this one, the mask is a full size and the Elemis stuff that I just talked about. But the others, I believe, were all travel sizes. So they're full sizes in the terms that they were full size travel sizes, but they weren't the full size. These, however, are all full size. It includes the Derma E Hydrating Gentle Cleanser with hyaluronic acid in the blue bottle with the blue lid. They have one that's in green and another that's in peach and another that's in yellow, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that. It also includes their Derma E Hydrating Day Cream with the blue writing, and it included their Derma E Hydrating Night Cream with the blue writing. Okay, so the cleanser. I actually really love this cleanser, and I think, you know, as you recall, I was actually looking for a replacement for my First Aid Beauty cleanser. I really love it, and even now, though I've given them a bit of a pass on the few things that they have that have skin tones that are not that inclusive, they're about as inclusive for their concealer and their tint as anybody else who has a BB cream and a concealer. And they are primarily a skincare brand. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of went, all right. However, their cleanser is $30 a bottle, and I can't remember how many ounces it is. I don't think it's this. I'd have to check. However, this is 6 ounces, and I believe this is about $15. Might be a little bit more, might be closer to 20, but I think it's about $15. It's a gel. It's a very, come on out. Like I said, I've really enjoyed this. It's a clear gel. There's no coloration to it at all. It has a light, almost sweet, but very pleasant scent. I can't even smell it right now, possibly because there's other stuff. And here you can see it's all, I just rubbed it a little bit. It's sudsing on my skin. It's not even wet. You only need 1 pump to use to wash your face. Foams up nicely. So this one will last a while because you don't need to use a lot. My skin felt soft and smooth, no dryness at all. This is one of the few that has managed to wash my skin in such a way that my cheeks are not dry. Yeah, it says 15, I have down in my notes, $15.50 for 6 ounces. The First Aid Beauty is $20 for 5 ounces. So this is definitely a much better buy, even though the overall cost is only a little bit less. You have an ounce more, so ounce per ounce, it's better. My exfoliating pad that I use comes up slightly dirty. I'm using a slightly different one for my Radiance pads recently. But I suspect it was a bit of stubborn mascara. I have some stuff that is supposed to get rid of all of that. I've run out of it and I can't afford to repurchase it. So I'm looking at some other stuff to help get rid of things like mascara. I actually really like this. I think I might purchase it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to purchase it instead of my First Aid Beauty the next time I come up. Next time I need to refill. I might even try one of their other cleansers in the line, one of the different colors, depending on what they are. My skin really likes it. I don't have any dryness when it's done. I'm generally clean. The only thing is the mascara, which I'm dealing with something else. And the price is perfect. It's much less. Yes, it's pretty close in price when you're talking about 15.50 versus 20, but there's more in it. So for me, per ounce, it's a much better deal. Highly recommend it. I have borderline sensitive skin. I want to read this little thing up here. 100% vegan, soy-free, eco-ethical, and cruelty-free. So that's another good reason to buy it. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you're looking for a cleanser that's on the lower end of the price, but you know, not going to say hand soap. I recommend this. I really, really like it. So both of these creams had one problem for me, and I'm going to get that out of the way right away. They are both astoundingly thick. I mean, this is thick and very, very heavy. This is the night cream, and they're both very similar in that regard. So that's the night cream. And in fact, the day cream seems to be a little bit thicker. So there's the day cream. They are both very, very thick. And so when you put them on, they do feel a little heavy on the skin. Yeah, you can see. That's the day cream, which is really thick, and that's the night cream, which has a slightly looser consistency. So let's start with this day cream. Also, you can see they look very similar. They smell very similar as well. So the first time I used this, I know I went too heavy on it. However, both of these I can actually feel on my face. I can feel them. Like I said, they're heavy. Of the two, this is the lighter one, and actually, if I find the light kind of moisturizer I want for during the day, I would probably take this to a night cream after that. It smooths out over the skin more easily than the night cream. I could feel a bit of the layer on my skin when I touched it, but my skin did feel soft. My cheeks were just a tiny bit dry, which is really odd considering how heavy and everything else it is. But overall, of the two, this would be the one I would probably attempt to use completely. I actually did use this for night cream for a little while, and I think I prefer it that way. I do not like it as a day cream. It's just too much for my skin. My T-zone gets a little too oily when I use this. So I like it. I don't think I would repurchase it, especially if I can find a lighter cream that I can use both day and night. But I will use this one up, and it does moisturize. And again, it's a fairly reasonable price. I don't have the price written down, but it's a fairly reasonable price when you consider what you're getting. Cruelty-free, GMO-free, gluten-free, soy-free, recyclable, wind energy. Okay. Now, see, that's the thing. The description here, this ultra-rich day cream replenishes dry, dehydrated skin with long-lasting moisture throughout the day without feeling heavy on your skin. I disagree with without feeling heavy on your skin. It felt heavy on my skin. Not as heavy as this, but it felt heavy on my skin. Beyond that, it's a good cream if you're not looking for something that's lighter. And if I recall, like with the other Derma stuff, the price is pretty good. So I can't say I recommend it. And my light went out. I can't say I recommend it, but at the same time, I don't hate it. It's just really heavy for me. That's all. That's all. The night cream, again, you saw it. It's kind of thick. It's got a nice light, very light, clean scent. Don't need to use a lot. In fact, if I decide to use both of these, I will not be buying moisturizer for a very long time. I don't know if I will get through these for my project, for my reverse rouge challenge. Over a year, because I mean, seriously, I only need to put a little bit on my fingertips for this to work. I could feel it I could feel it on my face after application, and I could also feel it when I touched my face, but it didn't have tackiness. It was just heavy. It also seemed to absorb fairly quickly, or I should say some of it absorbed fairly quickly, because like again, I said, it's heavy. You can feel it on your face. I could still feel a layer of it even when I tried to go light. I didn't need to add a booster for my cheeks, however, so my cheeks didn't feel dry. In the morning, I could still feel a little bit of the residue from this. However, when I washed my face, my skin was soft and not greasy, very smooth. But like I said, it's so heavy. I don't think I would repurchase it. It's a good cream. I would not recommend it for daytime because it is, like I said, it's heavier than this one, and you will be feeling this all day. I will not repurchase this one because of how heavy it is. I'm really hoping the First Aid Beauty is nice and light, and if it and works for my skin as well as I think it will. If it does, that will become my day cream, and I will use this up at night. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this because this, I find it difficult to get myself to use this. That's how much I feel it on my skin, and I don't like to have that feeling of feeling it on my face. Even when I'm not touching my face, I can feel it on my skin. So I don't know if I'm describing that very well. Anyway, this is a no for me. I don't even know if I'm going to finish using it up. I don't know. I don't think any of my daughters can use this. They are all either combo oily or oily skins, and this strikes me as something for someone who has drier skin than even I do in their combo areas. So I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. It's open. I can't send it to Project Beauty Share. I hate to throw it away because I hate to waste stuff. So we'll have to see. I'll hang on to it for a while and we'll see what happens to it. But it's not something that I'm going to use regularly until I'm forced to, I guess. If you have really dry skin, this might work for you. But otherwise, I don't think I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you don't like that feeling of heaviness on your skin or on your face during the day or during the night, whatever. So, yeah, not something I'd repurchase. Anyway, bumbling idiot here, now that I'm done. So do I dare say I hope you like what you've seen? I've fumbled through this one a whole heck of a lot. But if you have liked what you've seen, I hope you will come back again. And if you are interested and haven't done so yet, I hope you'll subscribe. And if you do subscribe, I hope you hit the notification bell so you know when I upload next. If you're part of my notification squad, oh yes, indeed, you need to check your bell because they still haven't fixed it. YouTube, this cannot be this hard. Anyway, so yes, check your notification bell just in case it's been turned off. And if you decide not to subscribe, we still hope you'll come back because you're always welcome. And if you do come back, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. That is really good. You know, I don't really get that much lemon in there, but I do get, maybe I do, but it's part of the other fruit flavors, the apple and the mango and the quince. So it's not like there's lemon, but it's good. Really good tea. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Bye.